Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is October 31st, 2024, and this is episode 113. Sounds a little ominous when it's 113 and it's October 31st, Halloween in this part of the world. But we're gonna go with it. You might notice a bit of a difference in my video quality as set up today. My camera doesn't have any batteries, so I'm back to my phone. Hopefully you can still hear me okay and everything looks okay. If it doesn't, I'll probably just scrap this and wait for my camera to charge, but this is the time that I have to record today, so here we are. Let's see, I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers and thank you very much for coming back to all my returning viewers. Appreciate you guys a lot. And if you'd like to support the podcast, I do have a link to Ko-fi down below in the description box where you can send a few dollars my way if you feel so inclined. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 12. Today for you, I have finished object, works in progress, events, next on my needle, and some books. My notes are like down here today, so if I'm looking down, that's why. Let's start off with finished objects. For finished objects today, I have one finished object, but I do not have it here with me. It is at my mother-in-law's house. So she has been looking for curtains for her master bedroom for a long time. She wanted some blackout curtains. She has slats already, but of course those don't fold and be completely blackout. And yeah, so she's just been looking for like the right curtain color to go with her aesthetic and her decor in her master bedroom. And she's been having a hard time finding what she wanted. We saw that there was a sale at our local Fabricland, so I said, well, why don't we just go check out what they have? Lo and behold, for 50% off, they had blackout curtain material in the exact sage green that she was looking for. So there we are. I said, well, I can make these into curtains. I know how to sew straight lines. After a few YouTube videos and some back and forth of taking them and measuring and taking and measuring before I cut, I made curtains. I will put a picture of the fabric. I think I have a picture of the fabric just all laid out in my basement because it was very long. And I definitely have a picture of the curtains in the window, but I think they're open. I don't know how well you can see them. Anyway, I'll put in some pictures. I've probably already put in some pictures. It was a very fun and yet challenging project to do this, and I'm very happy that they are done. Of course, now she wants me to make some for her spare room. The problem with their spare room is that they have a cabinet, like an upper cabinet. It's like around the bed. So they have more storage. They live in a condo, so there's not a lot of storage. So in the spare room, there's like a cabinet and with a bit of a shelf for like a bedside table, and then on the other side is the same with a desk built in, so they've got a bit of an office in their spare room. But that cabinet goes right up to the edge of the window, so you can't put any treatments on the front of it to hold a blackout curtain. I think though, because most of the time they will just have that open and they only want to put the blackout curtains up when guests are there and they want to sleep at night, that I could use those 3M Velcro strips that you use to hang pictures on the very top of the, whatever it's called, the border, the wood thing around the window, the trim, that's what it is. I think I could fit those 3M strips up there and they could just Velcro those up when they use them. And then you wouldn't really see those 3M strips up there when you're not using them. And then you wouldn't need any sort of rod to hold the curtains. That's my thought. Who knows what will happen in the future? Let's move on to works in progress. First up is the socks that I have in my on-the-go knitting bag, and these are the Hermione Everyday Sock Pattern by Erica Luder, and it's just a fun pattern to have a bit of a stitch difference on the yarn here. It's not very much further than the last time you saw them, maybe a couple rounds, but yeah, anyway. Progress. I didn't even move the stitch marker, I don't think, but the heels are done. The bottom of the foot, of course, just has the plain stockinette, and now I'm doing the stitch pattern all the way around the sock until I get enough leg, and then I'm going to call it good. So I will be working on those this weekend while we're away because it's a very portable, easy project to work on. That yarn is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Sweet Pea sock in the Tea Time colorway. So yeah, not much to report there. So let's move on to my next project. Not much to report on this one either. This is the Musselburgh pattern. Musselburgh is a hat pattern by Isolde Teague. And this is out of some Loops and Thread Joy DK in the tropical colorway. And yeah, I just added some more rows to the purple. So that is all that I have done there. Not really much to report, but I did touch it, so you know, we should talk about it. I think I'll bring that one as my backup project for this weekend because you can't just have one knitting project. You need to bring two, minimum. We'll see about any other projects. The one that I have been working on the most, and I am the most excited to show you, is my Snow Wonder sweater. And okay, so I have, the neck still has to be done. I haven't done any of that, but, and it just dumped a bunch of fluff all over me. Do you see that? Do you see the snowflake? Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, now there's yarn everywhere. Anyway, I have finished the snowflake baubles. I am very excited about it. And I just love it. Oh, it's so good. And I'm just doing a few more rows on the body, and then I will try it on again and measure and see where we are. Probably just bumped my mic there, but you know, we're getting some good length here. I still have to go back, like I said, and do the neck, and then I'll have to do the sleeves. But I might actually go back and do the sleeves before I finish the body, just to make sure that it hangs to where I want it to. It has some positive ease, which is what I wanted, but not a lot. It's not like a huge, boxy, oversized sweater. It just has a little bit of positive ease in it, so I can wear a shirt underneath it and not feel all bunchy. The pattern, should probably talk about that. The pattern is called Snow Wonder by Heidi Kiermaier, and there is a kid's version and an adult version, so make sure you look at the right one. I have linked to the women's version, which is the adult one. There's no waist shaping in it though, so you could easily make this for anybody in your family. And the yarn that I'm using is some Cascade 220 in the silver gray colorway. So it's just perfect for winter. I am so excited to wear that. I don't think I'll take that this weekend because I'll need to try it on lots to see where I am or pick up sleeves, or so I think I might just leave that one for a couple days and work on it again when we get back. And that is it for works in progress. Let's move on to events. I have one event this week. It is the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party for 24-25. And this is an ongoing knit along that you will hear about every week until February. So if you want to know more about it though, the link to the Down Cellar Studio podcast website is below. And it's a fun imaginary points. I have won a skein of yarn already, so that's also very cool. And yeah, but any projects that you finish between September, whatever, and the Super Bowl count towards your projects. And I have some big plans. So let's get on to next on my needles. Next on my needles is my NaNoSueño sweater. So NaNoSueño is National Knit a Sweater in a Month. It is based off the NaNoWriMo, which is National Write a Novel in a Month. Oh, there's a lot of words there. Anyway, the point is that for the month of November, you start and finish a sweater. The idea is you're supposed to have 50,000 stitches because it's equal to 50,000 words, which is what kind of a good frame of reference for a novel is. I'm just going to knit a sweater and hope that I finish it in the month. So I don't know whether I'm going to take this with us this weekend because I don't think there's going to be a lot of time where I can kind of focus on what I'm doing. There's going to be a lot of sitting around socializing, and that's not always great especially when you're just starting a project. If I was on the body of the sweater, then I could just go around and round and round for, the whole length of my body. That might be easier. Let's get to what I'm doing. The pattern that I'm doing is the Super Simple Summer Sweater by Hoki Locatelli. I am not making a summer version though. Her version was in cotton, and I've decided to not make one in cotton. I'm going to make one in wool, and the yarn that I'm using is down here. I'm going to bring up my basket. The yarn that I'm using is this lovely yarn. So this is That Yarn Habit in the squishy worsted, and it is Everest, which is this lovely dark piney teal color, and lustrous. That's what it must be. Sorry, my handwriting. I don't know why I can't say words today, but there we go. Anyway, it's a striped sweater, so there's big thick stripes of each of these colors. I have 4 balls of each of these, so hopefully I have lots for this sweater, and I am very excited. I even started, a swatch. So you can swatch ahead of time so that you cast on for the project on November 1st, which is tomorrow. So maybe I'll take the swatch with me and just make sure that's all done in the first couple days. And I do have to wash it and stuff before I do my gauge on it and all of that fun stuff. For my gauge swatch, I just cast on, I pull out like some length of yarn, cast on however many stitches seems about right. I do a garter bit for the bottom, so I just knit back and forth, and eventually I will connect it in the round, and I'll do some fancy needlework in order to make that happen. This sweater is knit in the round, so that's why I'm gonna gauge swatch in the round, and then eventually I'll do some garter for the top, and call it good. Then I will measure it, and then I will wash it, which this will be a hand wash sweater, so I will hand wash the yarn and lay it out flat to dry, and then I will measure it again and see what the difference between the two is and see if I like the fabric, and then I will go from there and do all the fun math to figure out which size I want and all that fun stuff. I think that's probably enough blathering on about my NaNoSueño sweater. You will be hearing about a lot over the next few podcasts. I tend to, in years past, I've done like either a little video every day or at least taken a picture so you can kind of see the progress. So we'll definitely be going over all of that. There won't be separate videos though. I'll just have it as part of my regular weekly podcast, which you're watching now. That is it for Next on My Needles. We'll move on to the last segment, books. I got on a bit of an audio book kick this week and listened to quite a few. It might have helped that I was had all of Saturday and all of Sunday alone here in the house, and I listened to quite a lot of audiobooks as I was busy doing things around the house, just, doing all the things that that you can only do when the house is empty of other people. I did a really good scrub on the floors upstairs. I sewed some awesome curtains, which I could just lay them out and not worry about anybody else walking through that area and stepping on the curtains with their dirty shoes or anything. So just lots of fun things to do. And I listened to the 3rd book in the Maze Runner series, which is The Death Cure by James Dashner. That is kind of wraps up that arc. There is a book 4 and 5, and then there's some like little novellas and journals or whatever in there. But it is an entirely different set of characters for book 4 and 5. So I don't know if I'm going to read those or not. I do feel like book 3 definitely wraps it into a nice little bow and calls it good. So I might just call it good there. The other 3 audiobooks that I listened to are part of the Finlay Donovan series by Elle Cosimano. And I am hooked. There's another one coming out next year, and I cannot wait to find out what happens next to these crazy cats. Okay, so I read or listened to Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. And then there's a novella about Veronica Ruiz. And then the last one that's the full novel is Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. That one definitely takes like a lot more different of a turn, but also, you know, like it has all the same characters, but there's a lot going on. Wasn't my favorite one for sure, but I still think the first one is my favorite one, but I still enjoyed it. It was very good. So that is all the audiobooks that I listened to, and I haven't finished any physical books because I've just been listening to audiobooks. And with that, we will call that an episode, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye!